Welcome, 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 everybody. Welcome for your spiritual mornings. Let's start this beautiful morning with an ode to all the divine beings by being grateful to each one of them for their presence this morning. Let's pray to them to guide us, protect us, guard us, help us in our inward journey. Let's be grateful to the universe for always having our back, come what may. Let's be grateful to Mother Earth for grounding us, balancing us, aligning us, and sending us her healing blessings while she takes away all the negative programming that we may have had. Let's thank our analytical mind for the reprogramming that's happening everyday level. Let's thank all the teachers who come in the morning, Dr. Brian Wise, and so many more with their teachings. It could be that we're hearing something, but we're absorbing another. That's because of the presence of teachers in the known and unknown worlds. Let's be grateful to our masters, our gurus, our teachers, our parents, our grandparents, our ancestral line, for helping us shape into who we are today. And let's pray to the Almighty that we have had karmic baggages. We carry traumas with us. But as we study and go deeper into our inner being, we request you to keep deleting them for highest good of us and others around us. May whatever unfold be for the highest good of all present. Let's be grateful for this divine white healing light that pervades us, surrounds us. And that is the reason why we are made with her. I am light, I am light, I am light. Let's be grateful for all the love that encompasses us, within us and around us. By proclaiming, I am love, I am love, I am love. And by affirming that all that I do are acts of love and light, of kindness, of compassion, of empathy, of gratitude, of everything which is in God's own light. And let's be grateful for the two manifestations of the universe, sound and light. The sound being the most integral moment. Let me talk to myself and reprogram my brain with all the positive stuff that I wish to program myself with. Affirming, I am whole, perfect, strong, powerful, harmonious, loving, and joyfully happy. I love and approve of myself. I'm beginning to trust life and I am safe. I'm willing to forgive myself and the others. I'm willing to change and bring positive changes in my own being, knowing that change starts from within. I reprogram myself to wish to be the change. Enough of wanting people to change and situations to change. Now, the minute I change inwards with the help of gratitude, there's a shift that I feel in my life. And I'm grateful for that shift which I'm witnessing now. And that's coming right in front of me. Life is magical if I am magical. I know that. And the more blessings I write, the more blessings I do, the more affirmations I say and feel and emote, the more life progressively works in a beautiful, magical direction. I was meant to go through all the life lessons that I've gone through. So all the upheavals, I embrace them. And if there are any lessons that I haven't learned, I request the masters to help me learn those lessons in the most chosen method that they choose. I accept that there will be ups and downs in my life. But whenever there's a dip, I will try my earnest best to be on the path of love and light and to witness it and not let it overwhelm me. Such are my prayers. Such are my blessings. Lots of love, light, and blessings to everybody here in this session. Let's start a beautiful morning by going into the deeper realms of masters, messages from the masters. All right, here we are. So yesterday, if you remember, we'd begun the chapter number 6, how understanding anything helps all of us heal, right? And in this beautiful chapter, we were here. As we understand, we let go of fears. All right. As we let go of our fears, the obstacles to love disappear and love flows freely within and between and amongst us. So letting go of fears is possible when we are saying whatever is coming, I accept it wholly and completely without judging it. And that is when love starts flowing, because we're talking the language of love. Fear is talking the language of the uncertainty. But when we are certain that the universe has our back, that whatever is unfolding is for our highest good and the highest good of others around us, then all of a sudden, anything which is not of love disappears. And love starts flowing freely within us, around us, in the lives of people that we know, and we'll witness magic. I'm often asked how you know when a memory is real and when it may be imaginary or fantasy. Interestingly, on therapeutic level, it does not seem to matter. People get better, their symptoms disappear. It does not even matter whether the patient or the therapist believes in past life. However, according to a 1994 USA Today CNN Gallup poll, 27% of Americans do believe in reincarnations. This figure is probably significantly higher today. 90% believe in heaven. At the level of validation, however, it doesn't matter. As clinicians and scientists, we would like to know which recollections are real and how to differentiate actual memories from fantasies. Sometimes differentiating is easy. Someone exhibiting xenoglossy, the ability to speak a foreign language he or she has never learned, is probably touching upon an actual past life. Or else that person has a tremendous psychic ability. The past life nature of this ability usually becomes apparent during the regression. A person exhibiting detailed knowledge of a particular historical period he or she never studied is another clue. An odd and anachronistic symptom such as present-day fear of guillotines with a subsequent regression to a late 18th century lifetime would be another strong indication. There are several other characteristics of memories that seem to be real. These memories tend to be more vivid and oftentimes more visual than fantasies. The person is more emotionally involved and finds himself or herself in the scene. The scene unfolds like a movie sequence and usually feels familiar. The past life panorama echoes themes and problems present in the current life. The mirrored problems or symptoms may be physical as well as psychological, usually improve or resolve following the remembrance. In addition, the regression scene is not altered by suggestions from the therapist. The scene has a life of its own, and the details of remembered scenes become more and more clear with repetition. Another frequently asked question is whether or not past life memories can be explained as genetic memory. That is, are the memories coming from our genes and chromosomes, the genetic or reproductive material that we inherit from our parents, who in turn inherited genes from their parents, and so on, all the way back to the most ancient ancestors. Although some general memories may indeed be passed on through our genes, I do not believe that most past life memories are obtained this way. There are several reasons to the contrary. So self-explanatory, and I'm not really explaining that because each one of us at a soul level decides to come out with a soul family. That we're all clear, right? But the genetic buildup is important. But in our DNA, it works a little differently. We have an etheric body. We have an astral body. These astral bodies or these etheric bodies are not really to do with our genetic makeup. They come because they come with their own memory bank, which is stored in our subconscious mind, the right side of the brain, which is coming as a part and parcel with the soul. So a lot of memories that are stored in subconscious mind, which are coming to us through our astral body or etheric body, are not really to do with our this life's DNA. But what can happen is this life's DNA and programming can be altered when we tap into that subconscious memory, which is the reason a lot of therapies are based on past life regression or just trauma release. Like we've seen a couple of examples here while this book unfolds. That, you know, she was very insecure with that boyfriend without him having to given her a reason to do so. But when she went in a past life, he was a husband who was taken away from her. So she was very insecure. But the minute she realized that that was that life, and this is again, I have met him, her healing happened and she stopped getting insecure. So the general memories that may be passed on through our genes or past life memories, let's obtain which way are they coming to us. Number one, many of my patients have recalled lifetimes in which they died as children or were childless, never having transferred any genetic material at all. The memories of these childless lifetimes are often quite detailed and vivid. Number two, the specificity of the memories can be remarkable. A patient may remember a Middle Ages battlefield scene and find exactly the one soldier he was amongst 10,000 on the field. The wounds of that particular soldier often correspond to a current life physical ailment, which typically begins to resolve after the past life scene is recalled. One would not expect such a high degree of specificity with genetic memories. Even the concepts of the collective unconscious, all of racial memories, do not allow for the remarkably detailed memories that patients often provide. The memories evoked are not of broad archetypes or categories, but of tiniest details, often accompanied by powerful feelings and emotions. These powerful feelings and emotions, which are coming out of these sessions, help patients heal. Number three types, how they come. Many memories have occurred during the physical body where there is no genetic material. Example, in the example cited above, which is from actual patient experience, some of the memory is from after the physical death, when the person was floating above his body and surveying the scene beneath him. He observed the body he had just left, its condition, its wounds, as well as the entire battlefield scene and what was still unfolding as the battle progressed to its end. During his above the body visual survey, he also explained emotions and thoughts. So when we tap into the memories, there are two ways of tapping into our memories when we do past life regression. One is to see a past life when we were living in the past life. One is to see the past life when we have left the body in the past life. One is to see the memory, which rarely happens, is life between lives. You have incarnated as a person, you were a person, and between you were a soul. So that soul world also comes, but that is not very common. But these all kind of heal us and give us answers. So when we go into regressions, we have a particular state of mind, which we tap into that memory. or we have questions. And the same happens with Akashic records also. The only difference between Akashic and past life regression yourself is in Akashic, you may doubt the person who's channeling your thoughts, but in past life regression, you're seeing it yourself. Now you may think, as they say, that, oh, is this construed up? Is this like conjured up? Have I just thought of it? Have I fantasized? Or is it real? 99.99% is real, 0.01%, even if it's imagination, your subconscious mind is helping you heal about some particular state. But of course, if we trust the process, we will tap into the right memory at the right time. Now, remembering the key to happiness in this life. To be in physical state is abnormal. When you are in spiritual state, that is natural to you. When we are sent back, it's like being sent back to something we do not know. It will take us longer. In the spirit world, you have to wait and then you're renewed. There's a state of renewal. It's a dimension like the other dimensions. We are all spirits. Some are in physical state, others are in period of renewal, and others are guardians. But we all go there. We have been guardians too. Now, isn't this beautiful to know that we all have done what we are hoping for the higher beings to do? We also have been higher beings for many earthlings at many given points of time. We have been because we were transiting from one body to another. In the middle, we were guardians to somebody. And as such, if you realize, you also are guardians to somebody right now in your physical sense. There are people who come to you for their healing, because when they share with you and you listen and you give them some advice, you're the guardians. I don't know, some of you maybe you may have heard from people, you're my angel, you're my guardian, you're helping me evolve, thank you so much. These are our memories from our in-between lives, which help us to continue that persona of ours. To remember that we are souls, that we are immortal and always exist in a vast sea of energy is the key to joy and happiness. The minute we stop fearing for our death, the minute we stop thinking, "Arey, mere baad kya hoga?" there we have unlocked the door with the key of happiness. In this energetic sea, a host of helping spirits nudge us along our destiny's path, our evolutionary journey towards God consciousness. But do we hear that nudge? Just day before, I was driving to Gurgaon and I'd gone one day before also for a session. And when I was going, I took really long and the Google map took me from inner lanes. And I said, today I'm going to pick up the main highway and I'm going to go from that. The first instinct that came to me was, "Nahi, follow this path. At least 1 hour, 15 minutes, you will be there in Gurgaon." What did I do? I listened to my analytical mind and said, let's take the highway. Because I'd spoken to my husband, even he said, take the highway. I did not listen to the nudge. Guess what? I reached that place in 1 hour, 54 minutes because I did not listen to that nudge. So these sessions help us understand that if you have a gut feeling, listen to it, enact on it. Don't use your mind. In this energetic sea, I repeat, a host of helping spirits nudge us along our destiny's pathway, our evolutionary journey towards God consciousness. So all of us here who are coming in the sessions are wanting to raise our frequency, our consciousness to the higher level, right? We're not in competition with any other souls. Are we in competition? It doesn't matter that I understand more, the next person understands more, the next person understands more. There's no competition. There's no exam that we're writing. We have our path and they have theirs. There is no race, only a cooperative group journey towards the light of awareness. Souls who are more progressed or evolved reach back with love and compassion to help those behind. The last soul to complete its journey is worth no less than the first. It could be that our children who have chosen us as parents are more evolved than us. But we think that on this earth, we have to play a role and we have to better their life because we are elders. Like for my younger daughter, so many people have told me, just let her be. She's very evolved. Don't interfere. Just let her be. Let her flow. It's tough. It's not easy. But then I tell myself, for higher consciousness, she's far wiser. So let me not parent her. And true to the word, if I have a worry and if I share with her, I get a much better answer, the one that I'm looking for. So there could be souls around us who are more evolved. Why not? One particular problem in this school we call the earth is that on earth, it is so difficult to remember that we are souls and not just physical bodies. We are constantly distracted by the illusions and delusions of this 3D planet. We are taught that money, power, prestige, material possessions, and other tangible accumulations and creature comforts are extremely important and sometimes even the purpose of our lives. We are taught that we must be liked or respected by others in order to be happy. Being alone, we are told, is being miserable. Isn't that right? Earth ये तो train करता है ना, पैसा, रुतबा, शोहरत, अच्छी body, अच्छा skin, लोग बहुत like करें, that is what is required. अंदर जाओ बेकर रो अरे अभी से संन्यास क्यों ले लिया? सोशल मीडिया किस पे थ्राइव कर रहा है? फेसबुक या इंस्टाग्राम या स्नैपचैट, like. Comments. Validation is what we're looking for because we have been taught that कि अगर हमने स्कूल में एग्जाम भी लिया तो 9 on 10 मिल रहा है तो you're A category student, then you're B, then you're C, D, E, F. We have been told to excel is the key to happiness. Have we ever been taught in school, meditate, go inner, talk to your higher self? There was this video I was seeing yesterday of a child who was 6 years old and crystals talked to him. His parents taught him that listen to your inner voice at a very young age. And guess what? He was a very big Egyptian healer and he listens to it and he knows it. Bina regression mein jaye usko pata hai ki I have seen this, I know this, I hear the voice in my head. And the crystals speak to me because at a very young age, he has been trained to do that. But kahan school sikhate hain hame? Aur kahan hum sikhate hain ye cheez apne bachchon ko? और to be a good person हमें लगता है अरे कितने भी अच्छे हो पैसा तो बहुत important है. So that's how we've been taught. In truth, we are immortal beings who never die and are never energetically separated from those we love. We have eternal soulmates and soul families. एक सेशन किया था ना हम लोगों ने बहुत सालों पहले 5 टाइप के सोलमेट्स होते हैं एंड हर लाइफ में हर सोलमेट यूजुअली मिल जाता है एंड सोल फैमिलीज होती हैं. We are forever guided and loved by guardian spirits. We are never alone. We do not take our things with us when we die. We take our deeds, our actions, the fruits of our heart's wisdom with us. When we reawaken to the knowledge that we are all spiritual beings, then our values shift and we can finally become happy and peaceful. What is the difference in this life if you are wealthy and I'm not? Only the treasure spirit can be retained. What is the difference if you are powerful or famous and I am not? Happiness has no roots in power or fame, only in love. What is the difference if you are more liked and respected by others than I am? Perhaps I'm daring to tell and to live the truth, and the truth is really popular. Happiness comes from within and not from without. Not from reflection of what others think of you. Jealousy is the poison to the soul. So beautiful, right? जब हम jealous होंगे किसी इंसान से, हम उसको power दे रहे हैं. पता है आपको? उसके पास 1 करोड़ रुपया आया एक दिन के अंदर. देखो कुछ नहीं करता तो भी आ जाता है. मेरे पास तो नहीं आता. वो 100 बन जाएगा क्योंकि आप उसके लिए you're jealous. So jealousy is a poison to the soul. Remember this. Anytime, next time you feel jealous, just tell yourself, I am poisoning myself. If he or she is more popular, doing this, doing that, don't be jealous. Be grateful. If you want, attract those vibes in you that I like this. The minute you say, I like this, the wavelength shifts. You're attracting that. So our goal is to remember to reawaken. दिन में अगर 2 3 4 बार भी हम reawaken हो जाए ना, I am a soul and this is my path, we have learned the lesson. Perhaps one story or one paragraph in this book might stimulate your memory, stir you to awaken, raise your consciousness. To paraphrase Clint Eastwood's famous movie line that would make my day. Perhaps one reason that more people do not have spontaneous memories of their past lives is because learning in the physical body is a field test. We must ensure that our spiritual gains and knowledge are ingrained in our very essence. If we are non-violent only because the memory of a brutal past lifetime makes us fear future consequences of similar behavior, we have not completely learned our lessons. We have learned if we practice non-violence because we know in our hearts that violence itself is wrong. इसको थोड़ा elaborate करती हूँ. हमें अगर spiritually enhance होना है, तभी हमें past life की memories everyday मरा life में नहीं आती हैं. क्यों? Because again अगर वो आ जाते हैं तो ठीक है, we become wiser. हमें शायद समझ में आता है कि अरे I have not learned from my mistakes, I have not learned the lesson. मुझे समझ में आया इसके बारे में जब मैंने past lives करी and 5 6 7 लाइफ सेम पैटर्न पे बार 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 I was learning. Different countries, different eras, but similar soul families and same life again and again. Violence in itself is wrong, हमें सब पता है, but which kind of violence is wrong? Not just killing somebody, right? Violent thoughts, जब गुस्सा आता है, that's also violence. So we have to train ourselves कि acceptance is the biggest solution. When I accept, I do not get angry. Angry कब होते हैं? जब मेरे मन मुताबिक चीजें नहीं हुई. But जब मैंने expectations ही नहीं रखी कि मन मुताबिक, तब obviously मुझे acceptance होगा तो गुस्सा नहीं आएगा. क्यों गुस्सा नहीं आएगा? Because I know whatever is unfolding because it's meant to unfold. And I can procreate my life. मैं अपनी रियलिटी बदल सकती हूँ अगर मैं अपनी रेजोनेंस, अपनी रिफ्लेक्शंस, अपना फीलिंग, अपना एथॉस में शिफ्ट ले आऊं. कैसे आएगा वो? थ्रू ब्लेसिंग्स, राइटिंग ब्लेसिंग्स, फीलिंग ब्लेस्ड, थ्रू बीइंग ग्रेटफुल फॉर एवरीथिंग अराउंड अस, through affirmations, through believing that I am meant to be here at this time and this is the best thing for me, and by releasing what? Releasing everything unwanted with ease, grace, and joy. Unwanted means what? Fears, expectations, and whatever is coming in the way of light, in the way of love. If I want to become a better person and I want to wake up in the morning at this time and नींद बोलती है अभी अच्छा आज हो जाओ, हम YouTube पर देख लेंगे, अरे अभी आंखें नहीं खुल रही. This is coming in the way of light by me being indisciplined. What if I tell myself, okay, let me wake up and then let me sleep back? Obviously, body will say, take the easy route out. But what if I talk to my body loudly? कि this is important for the soul journey. आप अकेले नहीं हो. Mind, body, soul, heart, सब है. Please cooperate and then see the shift. I do not believe, however, that we are not meant to have access to these memories. Through hypnosis, recall is much easier. Lessons are remembered from a higher perspective, symptoms are relieved, and spiritual understanding can be dramatically accelerated. Nancy's experience demonstrates this process. अब हम Nancy का experience पढ़ते हैं. Nancy was usually dressed in beige shorts and a white t-shirt. Everyone in my 3-day workshop at Omega Institute, a holistic center in Rhinebeck, New York, had spent the weekend in the beautiful Catskill foothills, and we all felt very relaxed. Group regression sessions had added to the tranquil mood. Along with 4 others, Nancy had volunteered to be regressed in front of the large group. I chose her because I sensed she could benefit from an individual regression, where I could ask questions and guide the process more specifically. I could not get the individual feedback in large group exercises. But because she was a volunteer and not a patient, the regression was designed to be a demonstration of technique, not a therapy session. However, once a person enters into this deeply relaxed and yet actively focused state of consciousness, healing often occurs. The subconscious mind doesn't care about my intentions as long as it is safe and protected. For Nancy, here was a healing opportunity, a learning situation, and such a golden opportunity was not to be missed. We talked in private for a few moments, and I described the procedure we would be using. I had decided to use a rapid induction technique. With this method, I could bring Nancy into a deep hypnotic state in less than 20 seconds. Okay, Nancy, just like that, we talked about putting your right hand into mine, keep your eyes on my eyes, then it's just following the direction. Is that okay? She quickly agreed. Good. In a moment, I'm going to count to three. When I reach three, press down firmly with your hand. You'll feel my hand pressing up. You should be keeping your eyes on mine and following the directions. One, two, three. Eyes getting heavy, droopy, drowsy, closing, sleepy. Let them close, closing, sleep. This technique is so powerful. When my healer used this on me, in flat a few seconds, I was out. Happens with me every time, in fact. I quickly pulled my hands from under hers and she felt immediately into a deep trance. I then brought her even deeper with several deepening techniques and asked her what she was experiencing. After a few moments of silence, she began to sleep. She began to speak. My first Holy Communion. We are in a car and my grandfather is taking us to get ice cream. It's my special day. Everybody's paying attention to me. I'm really excited. She smiled radiantly. And how old are you? 6. Can you see what you're wearing? White dress. I have my white shoes, my white anklets and lace on the trim. I'm pretty and I'm excited that, and everybody's telling me how pretty I am. And this is a happy time for you, asked, even though the answer was obvious, yes. Can you see the other people who are there with you? Visual anchors are always important. Yes, my grandfather, my mother, my sister, my brother. How do they look to you? They look, we are driving and we are in a car. They're in the seat car with me. Actually, in the car, my brother and my sister in the back seat with me. They're younger. They are, I don't know how old they are. This is a happy memory for you. Is that what you're feeling happy? I asked this because I could see some tears forming in the corner of her eyes. Yes, those tears are in your eyes. Are they happiness tears or sad ones? I am excited. Now that I knew the memory was a happy one, I decided to summarize and to move farther back in time. That's a wonderful memory, and you know everything that happens after that. A good memory. You are in the white dress, looking beautiful. Everybody's paying attention to you. I want you to take back with you, even after you awake, this happy, happy memory with the good feelings and also the feelings of loving yourself, self-love. Because it's not just on one day or any special day. You can love yourself every day. And this is something for all of us to remember. We can all love ourselves every day, every moment, because if we love ourselves, magics open up to the next level. You have no idea. Because when you love and accept yourself wholly, completely, that is the wavelength everybody's getting from you. That's the bandwidth you're on, and only the highest things will start unfolding. But if you are living out of fear, that fear is opening up multi times. So what do we want to live? And happiness is a habit that we can create. We can learn to live happily. We have learned to live unhappily. Now it's time for us to learn how to live happily by again and again reminding ourselves of the blessings that we have. And for that, the best thing is to think of somebody who's living in worse situation than yours, and you will be automatically feeling blessed. Now coming back to the scene of Nancy. Remembering the happy feelings of that time and bringing them into the present day so that you are happy now. You're bringing these happy feelings of the little girl with the white dress and the communion and the family and all the attention and affection and the love that there is from the family. You'll be able to bring all of that back with you. Is that okay? She nodded in the ashes soaked in lessons of love. Are you ready to go farther? She nodded again. Float above now, float above the scene, and let it begin to fade away. You'll bring back all the happy memories and the self love, but let the scene fade away. Let the scene fade away. Now you're just floating so free, so peaceful, so calm. Let's go back before you were born in utero in your mama's womb. Is that okay? She again agreed. Let's just see what comes to you from this time, if anything. I'll tap you on the forehead and count backward again from 5 to 1. Go back before you were born in utero in your mama's womb and just see if you have any feelings, perceptions, impressions, thoughts, sensations from this time. After a few moments, she began. I am floating. I feel love. My mother has back pain. I sense that she presses on her back. And you're wanted. You feel the love that's ready to greet you. Yes, lots of stuff going on now. Busy, busy, busy. I guess getting ready. They are getting ready. What are they doing? They're painting and they're getting moving people. And you're aware of this. I asked, impressed by how many details she had already perceived. Yes, but they're excited. It's good activity. Why are there tears? I observed that the tears had reappeared. I don't know. I'm happy. Another memory for you to bring forward and of being wanted, the excitement, because the preparation is normal. Painting, getting the room ready, getting ready for you to make your arrival. You are a wanted baby. They are looking forward to it. There's a lot of love there. You can feel it as you float, and that's very important. Now let's go through the birth so that the birth is just finished. As I count to 3, be thorough with it. No pain, no discomfort, and see you are greeted and how the people feel. What was the reception like? 1, 2, 3, good. Now you're born and you're fine. What do you become aware of now? It's cold. She answered and she began to shiver. My mother is not awake. She's not there. She doesn't know that I'm there. It's just indifference. It's just another baby. The doctors and nurses are just doing what they have to do. I thought her mother must have been unconscious because of general anesthesia. The doctors and nurses were doing their job, but Nancy was already aware that they did their work without much emotion. Not the love that your mother has for you. Yeah, I guess. Do they wrap you in something to help you keep warmer? I can't tell. Her shivering and chills were becoming more severe. So I decided to take her away from delivery room. Now we're going to float above and leave that scene, and you will warm up again. Warm yourself up. Floating above, let the scene fade away and disappear. Now you're warm, you're comfortable, you're floating again. Are you ready to go farther back now? Yes. Good. So let's just take one more trip, one more stop, and let's go back even farther. If there is any past life for you to remember, you will be able to remember that now. As I tap you on the forehead and count backwards from 5 to 1, let a scene or an image of a past life come into focus and pay attention to my details, to any details. As I reach 1, it will be complete focus. You will be able to stay in a deep, deep state, continuing to experience and to tell me what you're experiencing, a past life scene or whatever comes to you. What's important to you? You'll be able to remember as I count to 1. 5, you can remember everything. 4, something from a past life. 3, let it come into focus now. 2, 1, good. Just be there with it. You can pay attention to clothes or any details, architecture, houses, topography, geography, yourself. Are there any people around? Whatever you become aware of is fine. You'll be able to talk and still stay in a deep state, continuing to experience. You'll be able to tell me what you've become aware of. I'm in a village, she answered, her eyes fluttering under the lids. It's center of the town like a market. There's a lot of activity, a lot of people hovering above each other like an auction, an auction. I'm passing by. I'm not part of this. I'm a man. I have a beard. It smells. There's a lot of smells and odors. It's just clean. It's not clean. It's dirty. She continued to scan the scene, taking in many details. What does the marketplace look like? How are people dressed? Is it open air? What kind of things are they selling? I was trying to get an approximate time period. It's open with tents, it's dry, it's dusty, chickens and vegetables, but not a lot of vegetables. People, they are like peasants. It's a back street of something, of a bigger city. I see a wall. There is a wall dividing this area from another area. I want to say Egypt, but it's not Egypt. It was Egypt. It is Egypt. I suspected an area of frequent invasions and conquests with shifting boundaries. And now let's go ahead in time to see what happens to the man. He's passing through the man with the beard. What happens to him? Let's go into the future, to the next significant event in your life, a man's life. As I tap on your forehead and count to three, go to the next significant event. 1, 2, 3. Just let it happen. Once again, you'll be able to experience and stay in a deep, deep state, and you'll be able to talk to and tell me what you're experiencing or what you've become aware. What's happening to you? A meeting. He's meeting with people. He's important. He knows. He's telling people things that have changed, that have happened in the other places. Changes. I don't know what the changes are. People don't want the changes. And how does he feel? How do you feel? I deliberately included he and you to intensify her connection to this ancient man. He's anxious. He's not sure how they want to receive this, but it's important information. The change needs to be made. He knows he has to tell them. He can't not tell them. He was told he has to tell them. I'm going to tap you on the forehead and see if you can get any more details of what he has to tell you. Tell them what kind of changes. 3, any details that come to you? 2, 1, I see a paper. I think it's a map. She paused for a moment. I sense an army. A mass of people are going to be coming. Yes, I think they're taking over this land. I think they're coming in and telling them that they have to move on or else they'll be forced off. And the people don't go, they are going to fight. And what is your role in this? Which side are you on? What are you accomplishing? I think I am on the other side. I am warning them. I'm almost a spy. They each think I'm helping them, but I am trying to keep peace between them. That's a good thing to avoid war. That's important, but it's dangerous for you. I'm scared. I could see the anxiety etched on Nancy's face. I progressed her in time. Let's go ahead in time again and see what happens to you. It's a very delicate and dangerous situation. You're scared. An army is coming and you're kind of forerunner for this to try to work it out peacefully so there's not a war because you don't know which way these people are going to go now. But let's go ahead to see what happens. 3, 2, let it all come to you. You can remember everything. 1, it's okay to remember. It's okay to remember what happens to the people and the land. I'm in the desert. I'm out of that area. I did what I was supposed to do. They started fighting amongst themselves. Some wanted to believe me, some didn't. Once I knew that they got my message, I left. I'm moving on. I don't know where I'm going. It's unknown. I'm just going there in the desert and I'm alone. Are you older now? I'm not much older. She grew silent and we waited. Finally, I broke the silence. Let's go ahead now to the end of that life. A spy, scout, advanced messenger. Go ahead to the end of your life as I tap you on the forehead again. The very last moment and see what happens. You can become aware of everything now. 5, you can remember it all. 4, the very last day. 3 of this man's life. 2, 1. Okay, you are at the very end now. What do you become aware of? Nancy says, I'm in a friend's house. I'm dying. I'm peaceful. Can you see your friend? I feel them. They're very good friends. It's a man and a wife. They've taken care of me for the last few years. I'm very old. So you survived the danger and you lived to an old age. Now it's time to go. So you float out of the body now, go through it, just dying of old age, floating above and feeling so free and light now. And peaceful, just floating and reviewing that life in your mind. The lessons. What did he learn? What were the lessons of that life? Which was a complicated and important but difficult life? Very much living on the edge. What did you learn? What did he learn? I had to sacrifice. My happiness wasn't always important. I had a bigger chore. I had to leave my family to save others, a kind of duty that you said. Yes, it was worth it. It was good. I'm satisfied. It helped to bring peace or at least avoid war in any circumstances. Yes, I think I did. I never really know. Because you go to the next place. Yes, I move and don't hear back from that area again. Very good. In your mind, make the connection to your life now as Nancy. What can you bring from that life with the discipline, the authority, the compassion, the sense of duty that he had to your this life? See the connections and what you can learn from this. His strength. Bring it in your life now. You don't have to talk and tell me. This is for you privately. Bring this into your Nancy's life, all of these qualities that you need or can bring forward that you've had before. See the connections. Bring it into Nancy's life, into your life now. We waited. I sensed, and she had accomplished the task I had set before her. Good. Are you ready to come back now? Yes. Okay. I'm going to awaken you in a few moments by pressing upward on a point between your eyebrows and your forehead. When I press upwards and you can open your eyes, you'll be awake and alert all the way back right here, remembering everything and in complete control of your body and your mind. I pressed upwards and she slowly opened her eyes, looking dazed. She had returned from a very deep state, a very long journey. Good. Welcome back. How did that feel to you? What was it experienced like? I felt like I was watching something that I wasn't experiencing, although I was experiencing, it was very different, very intense too, very, very intense. I knew an importance was there, but I didn't understand the importance of things at the time until after I looked back and then I realized that everything worked the way it was supposed to. Isn't that true? चाहे हमें believe हो, चाहे नहीं हो, everything works the way it has to be. Good. On the way, you had a good memory of childhood, the communion. Remember the white dress and the special feeling you had? You had siblings, so you didn't get that often. Number 5 of 7, she clarified. So you don't always have attention paid to you. Right. That was your day, though. Right. I was queen for the day. Then we went back to your birth time in utero and being born. Again, you were aware of love, of being greeted, the preparations were going on. So you were really wanted, even though fifth you were wanted. That's important. Your parents were excited about you. And you felt the difference in the energy between the doctors and nurses who were just doing their job and your parents, where there was love and waiting for you and getting ready for you and all the preparations. I felt very distant at that time. They were not as connected to me, as excited about me being there. She was talking about the medical staff. It was another birth and they had to take care of the mechanics. Then the memory of the man with the beard in the desert, maybe Egypt or Asia Minor, that area. She had a far away look in her eyes as she remembered even more. I saw him walking down a road with rolling hills, a long dirt road with fields on either side. He was alone. He was paving the way so that armies wouldn't have to lose soldiers unnecessarily, trying to get them just to acquiesce rather than to fight. I observed. Nancy knew more. I really sensed that even though he lived his life solitarily, he wasn't alone. He never felt alone. Something connected him to his purpose, I think. And I wanted you to see the connections to you now, but not to talk about it because that's personal stuff. Do you mind if people ask you a question or two? She agreed. The audience had been spellbound, and it took a few moments before anyone ventured into a question. When did this take place? Nancy thought for a moment and answering, from what I could sense of the address, I didn't know the time, but I feel a sense of BC. But I don't know when. I didn't have a sense of the year. As Nancy answered the question, my mind began to wander back to Catherine, my first regression patient, about whom many lives, many masters were written. Catherine had also mentioned the date as BC. For years, critics have jumped on this as some sort of fatal contradiction. How could she know BC when the term BC was not a concept in that ancient time? They could exult. And here was Nancy doing the same thing. Of course, the answer is simple. When you understand the process of hypnosis and age regression, in hypnosis, the person is the observer as well as the person being observed. In fact, many people in trance state watch the past as if they are observing a movie. Your conscious mind is always aware of and observing what you're experiencing while you're hypnotized. This, despite the deep subconscious contact, your mind can comment, criticize, and censor. This is why people who may be hypnotized and actively involved in a childhood or past life sequence of memories are able to answer the therapist's questions, speak their current life language, know the geographical places they're seeing, and even know the ear, which often flashes before the inner eyes or just appears in their minds. The hypnotized mind, always retaining an awareness and knowledge of the present, puts a childhood or past life memories into context. For example, if the year 1900 flashes and you find yourself in ancient Garb building a pyramid in ancient Egypt, you know that the year is BC, even if you don't see those actual letters. People can remember events from the earliest days of their infancy, as we have seen, and yet still speak perfect English. Why? Because they're remembering. They don't have actually, they don't actually become infants again and lose all of the physical and mental abilities. My attention was jolted back to Nancy and the audience. Another question was being asked. Does Nancy have any feelings as to why she particularly chose that life as opposed to any other to experience now? Or did it just come to you? Nancy answered, I have no idea why that one came. I think in the last section to talk about what I need to be doing in this life now, I think that's probably a valuable lesson I need to know and I need to contemplate. So maybe that's what I really need to hear, understand about the solitude, I think. After a few more questions on technique, I ended the session. A few days later, Nancy wrote to me, your work is making a difference in many people's lives. I personally have experienced an empowering growth since reading your books. I haven't even begun to absorb the experience of this weekend, although I understand the message I receive and see its importance in this lifetime. I know it will have a dramatic impact on my life and the lives of those around me. Thank you for the freedom you have given me to experience and acknowledge my own eternal soul. Nancy had captured a sense of her sacred journey. It is so beautiful to know that the world helps us heal, that memories help us heal. But what all of us can learn, even if you don't go into regression, is the fact that all of us are here for a life, for a purpose, and we have lived many lives with many purposes. But every life has one key aim factor. And what we can do is bring that back. Because we do have about 8-9 minutes, let's start the next section. Now, the next section is about feeling joy and happiness every day, lessons for the heart. If you want, you can write this. Never lose the courage to take risks. You are immortal. You can never be hurt. हम कितनी भी risk ले लें. Now risks, I mean, if you know, there are people जो बार-बार एवरेस्ट चढ़ते हैं, जो बार-बार पीक से गिरते हैं, and कई लोग photographers top of the building में चढ़ जाते हैं to click pictures. Now that is different. वो उनके सोल पर्पस में है कि this is the kind of risk that we can take. So everybody will be guided. What kind of risk do you take? Sometimes the lessons learned seem simple or obvious, yet they must be learned by our hearts at the deepest levels, not only by our intellects. Direct experience, often through regressions, can provide an avenue to the heart. So agar hum हिम्मत रखते हैं to take risks, अगर हम हिम्मत रखते हैं to take risk and to learn the lesson, वो हमारे हार्ट पे इम्प्रिंट हो जाएगा. सबकॉन्शियस माइंड में तो हो ही रहा है, डेफिनेटली. बट जब हमारे हाथ में आएगा, we will start talking that language. And direct experience कई बार रिग्रेशन से जल्दी ही रास्ता दिखा देता है. Nonetheless, let's read. Barbara was going through a detailed and deeply felt past life in the American South during the second half of the 19th century. She remembered the large white house where she lived with her mother in the aftermath of the American Civil War and the hardship they endured there. She remembered a happier time from later in that life when she was married. with two children and living in a different house. I moved her to the last day of that lifetime. I'm old. My hands have spots on them, brown spots on my hands, and the skin is very soft. Is there anyone around? I asked. My son is with me. My daughter is there. She's by the doorway. She's looking at me. She's sad. Barbara lamented in a whisper. I don't want her to be sad. She died, floating above the old body she left behind. How do you feel now? Better. I can see them in the room. I can see the woman in the bed. She has white hair. She's wrinkly. I feel very peaceful. I feel like I'm floating, floating. She was enjoying this peaceful place before awakening her. I asked her to take a long look at her daughter and her son to see if she's recognized them as anyone in her present life as Barbara. I got a sense that the daughter is a niece and I have now by the name of Rebecca. It was weird. I feel the connection that that daughter is now her. I reminded Barbara that we often come around again and again with the same people, even though our relationships may change. This is one way we learn here in the physical state. After floating above her withered old body, she was able to review that lifetime, its affluent beginnings, the devastation after the Civil War, and the happy family that followed. One lesson stood out above the others: to slow down and to appreciate what you have around you. Once again, all the lessons apply specifically to her. It also applies to all of us. There is so much beauty, so much truth and love around us. But we so rarely slow down enough to notice, to appreciate. Sometimes it takes a tragedy or a great loss to remind us, but quickly we seem to fall back into the same old rut. This is something we must remember. In fact, if possible, write somewhere that we can see it every other time. Life में इतना कुछ wonderful है, but we take it for granted. And then sometimes some things shake us, break us, make us. But that shaking, breaking, making is also temporary. And again, we're back in the grind. Slow down and smell the flowers is a modern version of Barbara's lesson. Enjoy the fruits of this beautiful garden. It's not enough that your intellect, your head understands this. Your heart must also, and daily thoughts and actions must show you that your heart truly knows. Now, let's just close the eyes and I will make you do this little meditation with Dr. Weiss, very short, and I'll add to it. Yeah. So just close your eyes. If somebody wants, they can lie down also. And if you want, you can be seated also. Sit or lie comfortably and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and relax by breathing out. A deeper breath in. And as you relax and exhale, let all the tightness and discomfort leave your body. Take another breath in and just relax. Let your body become more looser, more comfortable. Remember those times when your eyes misted with tears of happiness and joy. वो मोमेंट याद करें जब आपकी आंखों में पानी आ गया था खुशी का. Perhaps you unselfishly helped another human being. You helped somebody. Perhaps somebody unasked and unexpectedly reached out to help you. Maybe you were reading a book or watching a movie or seeing a scene where lives were touched by love. There's so much of love. Remember that moment, that beautiful selfless moment. And now feel your heart being full of love. Your heart is opening. Whenever your eyes well up with tears of joy, Simply, carefully stop and observe. What are you witnessing? क्यों ये मोमेंट आपको इतना छू गया? ये खुशी जो आपने अभी शायद फील करी, कहाँ मिस कर रही है आपकी लाइफ में? एंड नाउ दैट ब्यूटिफुल लव जो आपको शायद आपके हार्ट को एक्सपैंड कर रहा है, आपके लिए एक लेसन है, एक स्ट्रॉन्ग क्लू है कि आपको उस लव को अपनी इस लाइफ में लाना है। इस लाइफ में मतलब अभी, बिकॉज वो लाएंगे वो मेमोरी, you can bring so much more joy, so much more happiness, so much of peace in your life. सबको पता है happiness comes from within. Happiness एक state of mind है, एक inner state of mind है. हम change नहीं हो सकते magically किसी और के बदलने से. ये हमारा भ्रम है कि वो बदलेगा तो मैं खुश हो जाऊंगी. अपने अंदर बदलाव कहाँ लाना है? But if I change, then I can see the bigger picture. सबका अलग नजरिया होता है. कोई शायद मुझे बता दे कि नजरिया बदलने के लिए मुझे टेक्निक फॉलो करनी है, बट बस वही है, करना तो मुझे पड़ेगा, शिफ्ट तो मुझे लाना पड़ेगा. ना ये रॉन्ग है, ना ये अनस्पिरिचुअल है, बट द आइडिया इज टू बी हैप्पी एंड टू हैव फन. Feel the love in your body, feel it filling your body. None of us can graduate from this school until we learn to be joyful. So affirm, love is everywhere. I am loving. I am lovable. Life agrees with me. Mother Teresa said, I am sure that if we all understand the golden rule, that God is love, that He has created us for greater things, to love and to be loved, we would then love one another as He has loved each one of us. So let's expand God's love for us. Talk to your God the way you wish to talk to Him. Give your gratitude. True love is a giving until it hurts. It's not how much we give, but it's how much we put into the giving. So give love to God. He has given you so much of it. Give it back to Him. Pray. Have faith. Tell God to give you the strength to love others also unconditionally. And most importantly, that you can love yourself unconditionally because you matter. True love is the only love that you can feel for yourself and in the joy of giving to others. Love heals. Whatever is bad in anybody's life, in your life, can be healed with the tears of love. Let's pray that all possible violence and wars disappear and that planet Earth, our Janani Janmabhoomi, is full of love, light, and peace. Let's bless the people that all their fears diminish. That love dissolves all fears, that love is the only language people speak. That all the fears wither away. बिना डर के हम जो यहाँ करने आए थे अपनी लाइफ में वो कर पाएंगे, ज्यादा खुश रह पाएंगे. जो दीवारें हमने खड़ी कर ली हैं अपने दिल, अपनी सोल पर्पस और अपने बीच में, उनको हम गिरा पाएंगे विद लव. सो सिंपल. अपने आप को खोल पाएंगे विद द एनर्जी ऑफ लव. So let's pray, because the fruit of prayer is deepening of faith. The fruit of faith is love. जितना हम प्रे करेंगे उतना हम अपना फेथ, विश्वास दिखाएंगे. जितना हम विश्वास दिखाएंगे उतना लव ग्रो करेगा. जितना हम लोग को सर्विस देंगे उतना लव और ग्रो करेगा. And these beautiful acts of love, of service, are acts of peace, and that is the living life example, the golden rule of life. So let's love ourselves, and let's love everywhere, everyone, beyond time, space. Love is all there is. And now put your hand on your heart and feel the heart beating. Talk to your heart however you want to talk. I can't hear you, so you can all talk. जोर से बोलिए, because sound is also important. क्या बोलना अपने हार्ट को, बोलिए. Fill your heart with so much more love and see it expanding and spreading love in all possible directions. Love is life. Life is love. And now fold your hands. And you can pray to the universe with whatever language you wish to spread. Ask for the blessings that you wish to have. These blessings, if possible, should be spiritual. Your professions, your family life, all of that is in the physical realm. Ask for a blessing for your soul. Dear universe, please help me in furthering my life's purpose. Whatever purpose I grew, I took life on this earth, in this given dimension, in this time, in this space. Help me further my purpose. Align me daily with my life's purpose. May I speak the language of love, and I affirm I am a carrier of love and light. I am a messenger of love and light. And I will spread love and light. And so it is. Now rub your hands together, feel the vibration, the warmth, the tingling, and bless the world. And now, today being the spiritual day, bless yourself last. Touch your eyes, your face, your body, and then gently open your eyes. Be blessed, everybody. Mudita, Pratimaji, Ankur, Jyoti, Madhuri, Supriya, Rinku, Ritu, and everybody else in the internet world. Lots of love, light, and blessings. I love our soulful morning. So beautiful. Lovely. And thank you, everybody, for being part of them, because they make the morning so much worthwhile. So happy that we are back, and today is day 11. So beautiful. Keep growing. And if there's anything, anybody has a question, you can raise your hand. You want to share something, you can let me know. and we shall be. Just a request to everybody, if possible, once again, I'm reiterating, when we write our blessings, this time around, start writing the blessings at your soul level. What are you grateful at your soul level? We've been trained to write blessings for our careers, our family, our life, our bodies. This time around, journal about your soul. It'll give you so much more clarity. Of course, there are channelers who channel your life's purpose to you. But of course, there are people. But very, very important for us to understand that we're here for a reason and we can all make it come true. So in fact, I've already done so much channeling. I'm doing another soul channeling with somebody. Let's see what comes out. I'm really looking forward because kahin na kahin, it just deepens my faith more and more and more. So I'm waiting for that session. Lots of love and thank you, Rinku, for your love. I'll see you tomorrow in the gap, tomorrow at 6 a.m. in the morning. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lots of love.